Girl, I do not believe you. You better believe it. You are unbelievable. You're unbelievable. Ooh. Do you believe in life after love? Love, love, love. Ah, unbelievable. Really? What's up? This is Ray with Get Real Ray, a place and space for life and business tips from this creative soul to hopefully inspire you on your journey, or at the very least provide you with some laughs. I mean, come on. Life be cray cray. So, a little laugh every now and then might be good. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's talk about believing the things you think might be true. Dun, dun, dun. Okay.
Craving real advice? Tired of feeling like every other small business owner or solopreneur is raking in the dough while you just seem to be raking? Secretly looking for a reminder that starting your own business is not as glamorous as others make it look? Whether you're looking to change the game in your relationships at home or at the workplace, you've come to the right place. My name is Ray. I went from corporate America to running my own small business to becoming a solopreneur. I'm a professional actor and, dare we say, a professional busybody, because this body is about to be busy all up in your biz. So let's get real.
So I remember when my marriage was coming to an end, and I decided, I'm gonna have to take the divorce route. Like this is not working. And my therapist at the time said, you must have known. There's always warning signs. You must have known. And I was like, but I mean, there was one warning sign, but I thought, And then later on, I got a little mad. I was like, come on. I didn't know things were going to get this crazy, okay? It's not fair. It's not fair, therapist. I remember in an interview, Oprah made a statement, and I think she was quoting Toni Morrison. Maybe she was quoting someone else. Now that I'm thinking about, like, was it Toni? Was it Eckhart Tolle? I don't know. There's a few people she's constantly quoting. But with all that being said, Oprah said, when someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Now, on one hand, I have always believed in the idea of people being able to change, giving the benefit of the doubt. Isn't that the Christian way? Is to give people a second chance, give people the benefit of the doubt. Don't assume that they are going to try to ruin your life or cause you pain. Oh. And at times when I am teaching or dealing with a customer complaint or creating something new, I ask myself, does this parent, does this customer, does this person actually think that I'm sitting around trying to be some evil mastermind genius over here like, how can I ruin this person's life? How can I cause the most friction? How can I cause the most stress or pain? And that's not who I am. But I also feel that there is nothing that I do that would create the initial impression that I might not have the other person's interest in mind. Okay, so if I just had lots of sales videos where I'm making wild promises and then talking about myself all the time, then that's gonna be a red flag. Or if all of my promotional material was AI generated, making tons of false claims, then that's gonna be a red flag. But that's not how I run my biz. That's not how I run my life. So I am getting better at not taking this to heart, but I do find it frustrating at this point in my years when there is the implication that I might not be having the other person's interest in mind. I do hate having to be careful with my words. This happens a lot when dealing with parents. For example, I know that a child is not doing the work or is being hostile in class. And I am having to try to figure out, well, why aren't they doing the work? Is there something else going on at home? Is there a learning issue that this child has? Maybe they don't understand something, but they don't have the vocabulary to convey to me that they don't understand something. Am I not communicating clearly? Is there something flawed in the expectation? Maybe their expectation is not in alignment with what I said that I would be offering. Is that because I wrote something that was not very clear or a bit ambiguous? Or is their expectation not based on reality? And so having to send a message to a parent to find out a little bit more, to make a little suggestion, it can be a bit exhausting. I'm going to admit this. Now, mind you, I'm no longer providing classes on a large scale. When we had classes that would have 10 to 15 students, I knew business owners who were boasting about having 60 students in a class, and they would have these classes that would be parent-child, and they were very proud of themselves. Yeah, we have on average 60 students. And I'm thinking, that's just delivering information at them. It's really hard to take questions with 60 students in a class. It's really hard to give individual feedback. That's not the type of business that I want. I don't want to be known for that. I don't want to be known for high volume, because high volume doesn't necessarily mean high quality or good results. So basically, if a student failed at something in those classes, well, that failure isn't by that business. It wasn't considered a failure on the part of the business. It was considered a failure on the part of the parent who was assisting the student. That's not the kind of business I want. I don't think that's fair. So that ain't me. That's never been me. But we did have classes. The maximum we would take is 20. So we did have classes with higher numbers. And during that time, I would still try to gauge how can we best service everybody. It was a lot harder when I was contracting and providing services for other schools and having classrooms with, at one point there was almost 40 kids in this class. And I still would work really hard to try to find a way that throughout our 1 hour together, everybody who wanted to talk or share or put up an emoji could contribute. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to deliver individual attention on a large scale with a lot of people. It just is. But this is why people who do create programs have different tiers. So that if you're someone who doesn't need individualized attention or doesn't care for it, then you're going to have this one tier where you get kind of the bare minimum. And then for the next tier, there's going to be a smaller group for feedback. And then the most premium level is going to be maybe one-on-one coaching, or you're in a group of 10 people dealing with that expert who can give individual time and attention. And as I'm saying this, I'm like, is there a way to better implement this into my own business? So right now I have the group classes, the on-demand, and then private lessons. Not in every subject, but a number of subjects. And though I find it frustrating to having to be like doing this little dance of, well, what can I say in this email that's not going to be offensive? I do allow myself to just write the email. Then I have to go back and edit the email, think about all of the different scenarios of what could be going on. And I'll even list some of the scenarios in the email. Like, hey, I noticed that Jessica was having a bit of an off day. She seemed to really be struggling. I don't know if she's tired or had a long weekend. I don't know. I didn't see any information on developmental needs that I should be aware of, right? Like, does your child have ADHD and you just didn't think to tell me? Or is your child on the autism spectrum and you just didn't think to tell me? Right? Parents be busy at times. I get it. So I will often list different little scenarios. And even when I'm reaching out to customer service on a business where I am not happy with what they are doing, I will try to give the benefit of the doubt. Hey guys, I try to look through the help menu and it just says XYZ. And I've also tried to reach out through chat, but the chat button doesn't seem to be working on your website. I had to use the email us button, which was not working, but I was able to do a right click to actually see the email address and then contact you that way. So I'm letting them know, like, I've taken many steps. I've done the things. I realize you are a small team. I understand that these things can be expensive. I will give the benefit of the doubt. I will go through the gamut. It takes time. It takes energy. And not everyone's going to do that. Not everyone has the time to do that. Not everyone has the emotional intelligence to do that. Not everyone who does have the emotional intelligence feels that they should or needs to. And also, not everyone just has the knowledge, right? So it's not even just the emotional depth, just the knowledge that, oh, there's other things that I could do or could consider. Like some people are just like, I just know I needed A and I didn't get A. So you suck. Like that's a thing. And if you are someone who accepts reviews on your business and you've had a you suck message, I feel you. I've had that too. It's not fun. But don't take it personally because that's just a part of doing business, right? Instead, focus on all the messages you receive from people like, you're great, I love your product or service. And also remember, there are a number of businesses out there that do not care if they are delivering quality. They just don't care. They are focused 110% on quantity. They want to make as much money as they can on that one product or service for as long as they can. And then when it's no longer profitable, they're going to shut it down, start up a new business, offer a new crap product, get more crappy reviews, same cycle. Get all the money you can while you can, and then do it again. Wash, rinse, repeat. So that's the thing. That's certainly a business structure. It's not my business structure. I hope it's not yours, but I may have just inspired you. Maybe there is something where you can be like, it's crap. I'm going to just keep selling crap over and over until I get as much money as possible. I will say I had some video quality where I'm like, this is the best video quality. But if I charge a cheap price, the content in of itself should be useful for somebody. And I'm just going to put it out there and sell it and make the money that I can. And after a while, I'm like, oh, but I feel the impact on the rest of my business, the brand as a whole. So I need to lower the price and change the wording so that people understand that this is offering just the bare minimum for the content. This is not a reflection of my whole business. And if this is of service to you, great. And if it's not of service to you, that's fine. Check out the other things that I offer, which are going to cost more because there's more time, energy, money, thought put into them. And it's up to you to make that decision. So you can do that too as a business owner and just say, hey, I'm offering these different opportunities. You as a consumer have now been fully informed. You make the decision. Okay. Now, with all of that being said, there was a business which I was really enjoying using their service. I really loved the customer support. Customer support on point. You would get a message right away saying someone will get back to you in about 20 minutes. Usually, it would say 20 minutes to 2 hours. But usually, less than that, I got a message back with some valuable information and always a screenshot of where to go to find more instead of just a hyperlink. And I thought, yes, people, you guys are good. You guys are great. You're sending screenshots. You understand that just a hyperlink is not going to be enough. Sending the screenshot to let me know what section I should be looking at is really helpful. You've got the written information and the visual information. Unfortunately, we reached a point where there was a problem that they didn't know how to solve. They just didn't think that that might be an issue. I solved it on my own. And that in and of itself wouldn't have led me to leave their services. The area that made me say, oh, okay, I need to find somebody else, was that we'd reached a point where the back and forth was, hey, try this. That's what it felt like. Hey, try this. And all the messages are very positive, which is a good thing. Hey, try this. And we have the screenshot, and it was becoming like, but that, I told you guys that didn't work. I already told you that didn't work. So why are you still telling me, hey, try this? And you're telling me to try this other thing. Well, that's not going to work because you had me try what I already tried before. And so it was becoming this cycle where it started to feel like people weren't reading the earlier messages. And this is where you have that benefit of having someone who's dedicated to a specific problem. So if your system is set up where any open ticket goes to whatever customer service person is on staff at that time, that's beneficial. But at some point, you must be able to escalate where there is a dedicated service provider to that problem. The big companies have this, right? So I think I just in my head. The big companies have this, right? So us little companies, we need to do that too. If you're a solopreneur, you can set up for yourself, okay, for this tier of problems, I'm going to have this automated message or this email template that I will send out for this tier. For the next tier of problems, I have a little list of things that I can respond with. And then the next tier of problems, this is me getting on the phone with that person and figuring it out. Or this is me saying, I'm going to log into your account and I'm going to look at it. The buck stops here approach. You have to reach a point where it's no longer just, hey, let's do this, or good job. You have to reach a point of, I understand there's an issue, and we're not going to put this in our regular system anymore. Clearly, our regular system isn't working. We're going to pull this problem out, and we're going to really take care of it and look at it. Had that been done effectively, I thought it was being done. They're like, we're going to send this to the tech team. And then the tech team came back with this response. And I was like, okay, tech team, you don't know what you're doing. That's just the problem. So I don't blame customer service. I blame the system in place and the tech guy. But I then found a new service provider, told that company, hey, I'm leaving, and I want you to know why I'm leaving. And I also want you to know the solution that I found. So if you ever have this issue again, you can solve it in a more effective and efficient manner. And they were like, thanks for letting us know. Bingo. Great. No hard feelings, right? We're all out here doing business. They get it. I get it. We's good. Unfortunately, the company I switched to, their customer service was not as on point. So this is the one where the chat button didn't work, the email button didn't work. And I was really surprised because it's a very reputable company, lots of wonderful online reviews. Now, when I went to the Better Business Bureau page, I could see there were people who complained about the customer service. But I did receive responses for customer service. It always seemed like it took a good 12 to 24 hours. And I thought, oh, okay, they're probably just in another country. No big deal. But when it came to telling me to keep doing the same thing, and I've already told you it's not working, I've sent you screenshots and links, and I've clearly expressed my issue, And now it's 4 days of no reply. And I don't have any idea when I'm going to hear back from somebody else. Okay, now I'm getting frustrated. Now I can't post my content. So you guys, you may have noticed I haven't had some videos up for a little while. And if you're listening to the podcast, I haven't posted a new episode in a while because, well, I was dealing with these platforms and unable to post content that for some stuff I was like, it's already recorded. I just need to be able to post it, but I need a working platform to do it. So lo and behold, I had to go back to the drawing board, had to find someone else to provide the service at a level that I expect and that I need. And I found another company and made another switch and then sent another message to another customer service department saying, hey guys, well, actually, I closed my account and then they got back to me like day 4 or whatever, like, hey, here's this simple solution. Clearly not even looking at all the other stuff that I had sent. So I just said, hey, thanks, but A, that didn't work. Like I'd already tried that. And B, I've closed my account. This is why I've closed my account. Having a good system in place to let people know that a problem is being looked into still, or how long to wait for a reply, just setting up expectations for the customer, client, consumer, the person who's expressed an interest in communication or problem, dissatisfaction. It's really important to just set up those expectations. And then we know how to handle things. So that's that. I am on a new platform. I'm really excited about that. Yes, more videos, more content coming out at you. But in both cases, people showed me who they were from the get-go. Dog. They showed me up front who they were. Like, we are a company that's going to give you short, positive replies with simple solutions. Great. Thank you so much. I can't really hold that against you when things get rough. But I can make sure that my expectations poor doggy, are clear and make sure that I'm communicating in a clear manner. And so in that case, I'm not mad at them because they showed me who they were. They stayed true to who they were. And I just outgrew them. It's no big deal. Now, the company that had the 12 to 24 hour wait time, I say 12 to 24 hour because I would send a message at night and then the next night there would be a reply. So I guess it was close to 24 hours. Now with that company, the fact that the buttons weren't working on the website and I told them that up front and they didn't address that issue, this is telling me who you are. This is telling me you're not really reading the message clearly. And maybe you just want to solve my issue, my initial issue of what I was trying to do. And I get that. But some acknowledgement of, oh, thanks for letting us know, we'll look into that, would go a long way. So there's that. Now, also, seeing online these other reviews of people saying, oh, the customer service, good gracious, too much, can't handle it. That's showing me who they are. I did my due diligence in terms of finding out, are they good at providing the service? The product that they're actually selling, are they good at that? And due diligence said, yes, they are very good at that. So I was like, yeah, all right, I'm going with one of the industry leaders for that part. But I did not check in terms of, can they support me when things are not going right? And I made this mistake before, rather recently. There's a dog sleeping next to me and a story, and it's super cute, you guys. Okay, so I made this mistake before with choosing a new web host provider. And I chose a company that was supposed to deliver really fast web speeds. I saw some list of best of. This is a common thing where companies pay to be on best of lists, or they are actually creating the best of list and they put it under a different business name. Yes, very common. And so I started moving my websites, purchased a domain name, and then when I saw I needed to do XYZ and it wasn't working, I reached out to them. And they're like, oh, yeah, you can't do that here. You have to pay for blah, blah, blah in order to do that. And I'm like, why would I pay you for that when I already have it? And I have 8 websites that I need to move. And you want me to pay you 8 times for something? And this is going to be a recurring fee every year, but every other company gives us away for free. And I'm trying to do this other thing, and another paywall pops up. And so you structure your business with, if you guys have ever used GoDaddy, right? The commercials are great. It looks really good. But then you realize you have to pay for every little extra thing. I hate GoDaddy. And so I reached a point where I was like, okay, I've been on your platform for only a few hours and I can't get done any of the things that I need to do for what I'm paying. And upgrading is not worth it to me. It's not going to work for the long run. You're not sustainable. And your customer service is, I'm on this chat bot and then it takes me a while to get a human. This is not going to work. This is not going to work. Because I know that I'm used to a level of customer service where if my site goes down, I need to contact someone right away. I need that fixed. And it's very helpful to know that a human trained in tech, not in customer service, not in giving me little answers and sending me little clips from your help directory, a human trained to actually look into the problem. That's what I need. That's what I want to pay for. I'll pay extra for it if I have to. But clearly your company's not going to provide it. So boop, boops, I'm out. You show me who you are. I didn't want to believe it because I already paid some money and started switching stuff. I didn't want to believe it. But believe it, baby. This is not going to be a company that's going to provide you a level of service that's going to allow for you to get things done quickly, even if you have a problem. I was really sad when I had to leave my web host of almost 20 years. That company had been sold multiple times to other companies, but the last buyer, I was having way too many problems of getting tech issues resolved. My site kept crashing. Part of the reason the site kept crashing was because I had installed some software to create backups of the site, and it was storing the backups on the server. You'd be like, well, that's good, right? Well, the backups weren't deleting frequently enough. So I had these large files being created, and if they're created every day, which is good, but only being deleted once a week, well, the server was constantly maxing out because they'd also changed the plan where I didn't have as much space as I used to. I had to figure out that on my own because they were like, oh, it's the plugins, it's this, it's that, it's the other thing. And I'm like, but why does this keep happening? It can't be those things. It took a lot out of me, a lot of time, a lot of resources to figure this out. Now, I could have also probably paid somebody on Fiverr to figure it out for me. Maybe they would have figured it out. I don't know, but I figured it out, right? Here's a lesson in business. Try to figure out what problems you might have and then start to learn. Even when you do have a problem, start to learn, right? That you've hired someone to fix that problem for you. Can you tell me what went wrong? Ask questions. What went wrong? Start to take notes for yourself. Start to do some research, right? Oh, well, your CPU was high, or the problem is that you used the wrong shipping label, the wrong packaged product, whatever. Find out information so that way you can start to become your own problem solver, because there's going to be periods when no one else is going to be able to solve the problem, and you don't want to find yourself just frustrated. You don't want your business to stop because you can't find somebody to get things done and keep this problem from recurring. Okay, so now you might be listening to this and be like, yeah, right, that's all great, but girl, did you forget that I don't have my own business? I don't want to have my own business. I was here for the life advice. I got you, boo. I know you stayed through all this because you were like, is that a cute dog? Little ear I see. Okay. But here's the life advice part, right? This video is gonna be a little bit longer. Sorry, not sorry. It's worth it. It's worth it. Okay. So about a month ago, I hopped on the dating apps. I was so excited. I'm like, yay, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna go on dates. Girl, I have not gone on a single date. Or girl, boy, child. There we go. Child, I have not gone on a single date. And I tell you why. Because believe. The first time they tell you, they tell you, I'm crazy, I'm self-absorbed, I'm a player, I have a history of really bad relationships, I suck at communication. Believe them the first time they tell you. And then ask yourself, is it worth it? Am I able to believe it, accept it, and just know it ain't gonna change? So I already am not into the profiles where it's just a bunch of pictures of dude in car or dude standing outside of a car in front of a motorcycle, dude in gym, the gym selfies. Come on, people, really, with the gym selfies? Can we stop the gym selfies already? Oh, but gracious. So one guy that I was talking to, he was saying all the right things. It was clear that he read my profile. But when I started asking him about the things that were on his profile, he seemed really surprised. Because like, oh yeah, that's really old. I don't do that anymore. Oh, that? Ooh, like, yeah, my goals have changed. Yeah, I'm just not into that anymore. And I'm thinking, dude, how long ago did you create this profile? Are any of these photos recent? You are showing me who you are. And I believe you are somebody who is not serious about finding a relationship. Maybe you're just serious about proving to others that you've read their profile. But all the same, you wasting my time. Bye. At the beginning of the conversation was like, oh, it would be, oh, I wish you were here. It would be so fun if we met up and da-da-da-da-da. And these are all very exciting things, but it became very quick within our conversation that this is a person who likes to use big words, likes to say lots of exciting things, but zero action. That's not the kind of person for me. I believe who you say you are. You can't even keep your profile updated. Bye. Talk to another guy, really nice gentleman. I had a lovely time. So both these guys, we were both on the phone for like almost 2 hours. I had a really lovely time during our conversation. But in reflection, I said to myself, married twice, and both relationships ended with a similar problem. That she was just using him for money and she was lazy. Okay. And now you've talked about some other people in your life who also seem to be taking advantage of you, have taken advantage of you. I see a pattern. I believe you. You are telling me you've had a history of this. I believe you. I believe you when you say this has happened. You're showing me who you are. You're showing me you're a person who's not paying attention or not willing to pay attention to the fact that you have this pattern and you've got to put in the work to escape the pattern. And I can tell you were not putting in the work. And we continue to message a little bit over the next few weeks. But I could tell he was not putting in the work, even to keep in connection with me, because I would say things in the messages and he wouldn't pay attention to any of them. He would just talk about himself. And I said to myself, that's the reason why those marriages didn't work. Those women told you who they were, but you weren't paying attention. You were just focused on something else. Maybe it was yourself. Maybe it was how they made you feel. But it wasn't until later when you said to yourself, ooh, I think I need something more. And you realized you weren't going to get that from them, that you found there was a problem. Should have believed in women when they said who they were. Because I believe you when you tell me who you are, and I know that as lovely as you are, I don't want to be in another relationship where I feel like I'm trying to prove that I am not like everyone else that came before me. Been there, done that, ain't doing it again. I'm out. Okay. Another guy. Now this one we never actually had a conversation, just the messages back and forth, but he did ask for my number, and so we messaged back and forth. I was like, you asked for my number to not call me? And he's like, well, no, this is how it starts. You have to, find out about each other first. I'm thinking, well, weren't you finding out about me on the stupid dating app? But I didn't say that part. Okay. We said we're going to meet up. And I noticed he seems to have a lot of these little rules that he's got in place for his whole dating app life. You could have a number, but you can't call. And you can talk about meeting up, but I don't know, only certain days of the week. I don't know. It was getting a little ridiculous. You show me who you are. If you really were interested in me, then you'd call me. You'd make plans to meet me. None of this, the flirting back and forth via message is cute, but that's just fun and games. You've shown me you like fun and games. I'm not here for fun and games, but I should have believed you. I should have believed you that first text message that made me think, oh, he's flirty. He likes fun and games. I should have just believed you. Believing. Believe them when they say who they are. And so, nope, I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it. Sorry. Now, keep in mind, these are all lovely people, but the level of communication, the service they're providing does not match what I need or what I expect. That doesn't mean I keep fighting and try to change you. That doesn't mean I am into denial going, what's wrong with me? Maybe I shouldn't have these expectations. Maybe I should lower my expectations. Maybe I should wait 3 days before I text somebody back. Get the F out of here. I know who I am. Do you know who you are? The same way, if you have your own business, you have to know your business and what you will or will not allow yourself to sell. Little side note. The gal who starts an OnlyFans account or foot fetish site, right? Or the girl who says, I'm going to go into that strip club and I'm going to make so much money. I'm going to be an escort. I'm not going to let this get to me. You start, even the person who does the influencing, I'm going to be a shopping influencer. You start with your intention, with what you say you want to do. But have you really figured out what the limits are on what you won't do? You might say, I am not going to do anything that I would be embarrassed if my mother ever saw, or my grandmother ever saw. I am not going to create a product or service that is against my personal beliefs, that might use child labor. I am not going to do this business for more than a couple of months, or I'm only going to do it while I'm in college to pay for college, and I'm not going to do it when I'm actually in law school. Or I'm only going to do it while I'm in law school. And then I'm not going to do it because I have to, be a lawyer and not have this get back to me. And so many times, individuals find themselves in positions where engaging in that work that seemed fun and risky, or maybe a little taboo, or push the boundaries. So many times, staying in that world, staying in that work, goes well beyond what one was expecting. Because they weren't believing that they could be the norm and not the exception to the norm, right? We'll say the OnlyFans again. I'm going to create an OnlyFans account. I'm just going to post cute pictures of myself. I am not going to undress for anybody. That's it. But all it takes is that one message from someone offering a very large sum of money to see a photo of that individual in the birthday suit, or, I don't know, licking up some milk like a kitty cat. I don't freaking know. I don't know what to do on OnlyFans, you guys. But all it takes is that one to have you go, ooh, that's a good amount of money, and I just got to lick up some milk like a kitty cat. I mean, is that so bad? Maybe I'll do that one. What are they going to ask for next? Suddenly, the line keeps getting pushed. Same with the client who says, oh, can I get a price discount? Because, I have these 2 kids. All right, I'll give you a price discount. Come the renewal. Can I get another price discount? Or, hey, actually that time doesn't work for us anymore. We want this time. And I've had this on many occasions in my business where people that I've done a favor for, one client that's been with me for a couple years, half off. I did say that a couple of years, so I've been giving you 50% off because I was under the impression that you were struggling. You were not struggling. Come to find out, you were not struggling. Perhaps you were cheap. Perhaps you're not thinking that there's value in what I'm offering. But when you really look at what I'm offering, it's worth 5 times what you're paying. And I get it. There are some skills where I'm like, oh, I wish I could go study with that person. Like, I wish I could go study with Kat Beer at her next Berlin workshop. But I ain't got the money. So I guess I'm going to go on YouTube and look for some YouTube videos of people learning this, doing this skill, demonstrating the skill so I can learn it. And yeah, I guess it's going to take me 3 times as long, but it's what I can afford. I get it. I get it. However, the client showed me who she was, right? We, in our family, we value XYZ. That's where we value putting our money. This other service, we don't have the same financial price tag to put on it. We feel that we can get it for free or cheap or something. So I did have to say to myself, okay, I'm not going to keep doing this. Pulling myself away from that discount. Just FYI, by this date, we're going to be returning to the initial arrangement, which is 30 minutes of service for the 30-minute price. Done and done. And I've had to adjust my brain in order to make sure that I wrap it up hardcore that time frame. No more extras. Just no more extras. Because I'm not getting anything extra out of it other than personal satisfaction. And I also have to believe myself. Believe myself when I say I want to do good and I want people to like their experience with me, the service with me. I want to feel of value to them. This is my contribution to society. Some people feel their contribution to the world is to give birth. That ain't me. Taking care of cute dogs, that is a nice contribution. There's two cute dogs right next to me, two cute dogs. Maybe I'll show them before I say goodbye. But all the same, not only do I have to believe my clients, I have to believe myself. Know yourself. Know yourself enough to say, maybe what I am putting out there in the dating world isn't what I'm attracting. Maybe my expectation of how long it should take to find a partner, or my expectation of how long to see profits from my business, my expectation of how long till my supervisor at work realizes that I'm the bomb and gives me a raise or gives me a day off. I don't know. Maybe I'm not believing the proof, the evidence, the information I've already been given. Like, the company doesn't have the resources, or my boss actually is already eyeing someone else for that promotion, or my boss has zero control over who gets the promotion, that the things that the algorithm are putting in my dating feed are people who are not actually looking for marriage at all, and they just all players who want to play a lot. That even though that person has 5 selfies of being in the gym and then 3 of them in a fancy looking car, maybe I don't have to give them the benefit of the doubt that they might have more substance to them and be able to handle an intellectual conversation. Maybe I can just accept the fact that they really love their car and they really like looking at their muscles, and they think that that's just going to swoon me or some other woman. And there are women who love that thing. I's not the one. I mean, brother, take care of yourself, be in shape. But just because you got a gym selfie does not mean I'm going to be like, woo, look at the biceps, baby, come on. Like, no. And also, those profiles, most of them don't say marriage anyway. So why waste my time, right? Believe. And so, do you believe? Do you? I want to believe. The truth is out there. Okay, hopefully you got some of those references, people. All right, this was a long one, but it was a fun one. And so, until next time, peace.
Thanks for listening. If you think this podcast would help a friend, then please feel free to share it with them.